of what they're doing. Board, we know first and foremost that we
We're
must put our
live. We are recording.
so this
How
sounds
do
like
I mute everyone in here at one time? Is there a master mute button? Please mute yourselves. I will take some questions. And we'll see how the morning flows. I might rock with you guys into actual market open and we can take a trade live here together, right? Because why not? But let's see. This later. Okay, okay. Perfect. So good morning, everyone. Hopefully everybody had a good little bit of a break, a good Thanksgiving weekend, as well as a good Thanksgiving as well. I hope that you guys spent it with family. I hope that you guys, are back today with a renewed spirit, a renewed energy. That time is valuable. That time is important. It's important to rest. It's important to rest. So let's see. Let me see. Where's the chat? Nah, y'all not hyped enough, man. Send me some emojis in the chat, man. Send me a number one if you guys are ready to get started. It's 8:36. Market opens in a little bit less than an hour. I'll show you guys what we look at pre-market in terms of our levels. And as we continue to go on and build off of it, I'll show you guys how we start to do this and get into some equities, how we'll do this. And this even works with futures. I would say if you were going to use this strategy to trade with futures, you would want to use levels that are established while the market is open, more so than the levels we're going to be using. And our two key levels from this are going to come from two time frames: after hours and pre-market. After hours and pre-market. So let's see. And we'll mark that there. Okay, perfect. So I'll share screen now. We'll go over some things. Were you guys able to upgrade your TradingView accounts? I know they had a dope ass Black Friday special. That's when I tend to re-up on my subscriptions for all my stock market nigga shit. My Wall Street Journal subscription. I think I got it for what, 50 cents a week or some shit like that. I don't know. TradingView again. There's a couple other things I signed up for, and I'll make you guys privy to. I don't even remember it all. I just know my account just kept getting drafted, the last few days. Let's share screen. TradingView. Now, the strategy we will use for indices, but it's probably more effective with equities, because it's a little less noise, a lot less volume. And this will work with anything that has any type of decent volume. I want you guys to make note that when it comes to day trading, we're going to use this strategy mostly on the 3-minute as well as the 5-minute time frame. And if you're somebody who needs a little bit more confirmation, you want to be a little bit more sure, you can use the 15-minute time frame for this strategy, but we're going to use the 3-minute and the 5-minute. And we're just going to use extended hours, right? We're going to ignore all of the noise. So that in theory is where our box comes from. We'll take our first box and we'll mark here 4 p.m. Market closed on Friday, and we saw we gap down here. And we haven't quite filled the gap up yet, but we'll get into that as we go along. And then we'll take it to 9:30 this morning on market open. I will also want you guys, when it comes to this, especially initially, and I have it marked here, your high, your and your low, but I want you guys to mark it as well. Mark your pre-market, your extended hours high and low. Let me make it so that you guys are also able to share screen. In case anybody wants to go through this with me now, you're more than welcome to. I encourage you to, if you're able, if you're on a computer, wherever you are. Let's see, you guys can also share screen. Share screen, share screen. Let me see it. Let me see some screens. Who's up in TradingView right now? Who's ready to really, 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 really work and put these things into practice? Nobody's sharing yet. What y'all waiting on? Take advantage of me while I'm here. You guys know I don't really just talk just to talk. So what I like to do for you guys as well to make things really easy is I like to color code things, right? So for our downside, we'll make it red. Upside, we'll keep as green. High, low. So just to reiterate, we went from 4 p.m. on Friday, market close, extended hours, to 9:30 a.m. today. So it looks like we're ranging here. Let's see. Let's get this, let's highlight this gap here to see where we get a fill. Okay. Let me extend this and kind of zoom in a little bit and start to mark some key levels here. Looks like we have an area of support here. You see these wicks? I call them fat fingers. So what happens during this time is that during extended hours, all the key levels in any specific range are gonna be touched. And what those are gonna do is give you a bit of a map or a key direction, of all the liquidity points. And when I say all the liquidity points, I'm talking about where the money sits, right? Because anything above a certain level will trigger the algorithms to begin buying calls or to begin selling. At those points and at those levels, we know that, there's a lot of money there and the market is going to make a drastic move. So we'll put that there. And that's about, halfway through our follow through. And this right here would be our initial trigger for puts. So that would be our trigger for puts with the pre-market low here acting as our initial price target. So a little bit. And these are our ranges so far, things that I can see even just here initially. We can see where we tested this level at 7:35, 7:55, 8 a.m., strong area or level of support. So what we'll do next is start to look for areas to take upside. And I'll probably take upside here today over the pre-market or the extended hours high. I'll start looking for calls. We can go back a few days, and kind of see what our price target would be. My initial price target will probably be about here. That would be my first price target, and we can scalp calls there. And then we'll see about the next level. What I want you guys to keep in mind, though, we're trading this strategy and when we're doing this, is we're gonna find about 4 levels, right? Outside of our high and our low, well, 2 more additional levels or 2 more triggers, 2 more things to look for in terms of where we would enter calls or where we would enter puts. And I'll label these here now. And this is just SPY. We'll do this for a couple more things. We'll go through it together. Our first price target. Now, usually when you guys see me or when we hit our first price target or tag our first price target, that's when I'm telling you, take a trim, take some profit, trim your position, lower your risk, or, you know, got some balls to you, for lack of a better word, you're a little bit more of a gunslinger. That's what I would also have you kind of put in your stop loss at break even, right? Because the worst thing that we can do is watch things kind of go from green to red. We want to set targets. We want to trade our plan and plan our trades. If we break over 603.35, I would start to look for 605. In terms of selecting your strike prices, I like to go in intervals of 2. 664. I'm sorry, 604, 606, 608. And if you're not able to do that, or if you would like something that's a little less risky, go in the money, right? We know that if SPY breaks above 603.11, we can get 603 calls and take it to 605 and be deep in the money at that point. A lot of it is also going to depend and be determined by our preferred expiration date. Let's take a look at the Qs and see what they have going on this morning. This got filled, but I'll still mark it as a key level. Any questions so far? Have I lost anybody yet? Are you guys still following? Extended hours only.
For the detail, man. How you doing? Good morning.
Good morning. What's up, homie?
Just make sure I understand for kind of the clarity there.
Of
All of
course.
your price targets are basically the pre-market highs and lows and stuff like that, and that's how you go from there, right?
Yes, sir. Those are my
Okay.
new markets. I'm watching those pre-market or extended hours, excuse me. I won't just say pre-market because we're talking about after hours from the previous trading session being included as well. But yes, that's what we're looking for. Those are our levels, those are our points of liquidity, especially when you see things like this and these wicks, these fat fingers. These are very, very key points of liquidity or where there's a lot of buying pressure. So here we go. We have this here. We can mark our pre-market low. And we'll make this red. And then we'll also mark our pre-market high where we rejected here at 8:15. Make this green as our initial trigger for calls. First box, right? See how that works?
Now, this is where I'm really interested, man. This is what I will be in. This is probably my end of year trade. Guys, I'm going to be honest. I might just look for one thing until the end of the year. This is be, right? This is it. And it's just the SMH long, right? That's really it. I really believe that all I need to catch in December, because if this wakes up in December, it is going to be the trade of the end of the year, right?
Mm-hmm.
This will be the trade that ends the year better, more better.
Yo, you guys see? I'm sorry, you're breaking up. What'd you say? I'm sorry, muting himself. I didn't catch all of what he said. But yeah. I trade this every day. And this is a strategy that I employ. This is what we've literally been using to turn that $100. I think that account is somewhere near $1,500 now. I'll get it to $4,000 or so. And at the top of the year, we'll do 50 first trades. 50 first trades is something that I do every year. We're going to do it actually in this group. It's not going to be a side group because so many people have shown interest in it. And I want everyone to have access to it.
I don't know if you're explaining what you're actually doing. I'm seeing a white screen, not your same screen.
You're not.
Same here. I don't see
You were
much.
saying you were doing some things, but none of that was changing on this screen.
Look at the top of your browser, and I mean in your
Yeah,
Zoom
someone else's screen is
or-
being
or-
we're seeing someone else's screen. We don't see your screen.
click at the top of the screen, guys, and go over to stock market big screen. You'll see horror screen at the top, and then big. Click on that.
Okay.
So they didn't. Can you redo it again, Corey? Because
Yeah, let's start over. Yo, when was y'all gonna say something? Y'all...
It just changed.
Oh, okay. I'm like, damn, I'm sorry. Are you guys able to see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay, let's see. Let's put this somewhere. Can you guys see that? What did I just put on the screen?
I still
happy.
can't see. I still can't see your screen for some reason.
I see it. The smiley face.
You have to go where it says screen share and it says 2 and click. I know that's what I see on my screen, at least.
Yeah, way at the top.
At the top.
Maybe if you can stop sharing Horace's screen, that might help you out a little bit. I'm not sure though.
Let's see. Where's Horace? I don't even see Horace.
I just took it off.
Okay.
Okay. I appreciate you, Horace, nonetheless. Is everybody good? Y'all good? Y'all with me? Can y'all
Yeah,
see
we
my
with you.
screen?
We with you.
All right. So let's remove all this bullshit. Excuse my language. And let's start over. You guys can see? So when we talk about our Boxy Box, our signature box, we're going to only take into account extended hours movement and liquidity ranges. So we'll start here, right? Market close from the previous session. market open for this current session, and then we'll also take the extended hours. Excuse me, let me remove this. Extended hours high and extended hours low. That's our initial box, and I will color code this for you guys now. Everybody can still see my screen. We good? Make that a little easier. You guys with me? You see the box here? Extended
Yeah.
out. So we have our first line at the market close from the previous session, our next line at our market open today, the high from extended hours, and the low from extended hours.
Okay.
Built this. This is going to be inexact. But we'll also take this as a key point too because of where we wicked. And we'll zoom in. It looks like we have a strong area of support about here. After we have our 4 points, our initial points are close from the previous session, today's open, the high and the low from extended hours. We'll also go in and start to look for 2 more levels. This appears to be a strong area of support. And then about right here, looks like we have a lot of liquidity as well. I'm following the wicks, looking for levels that we've tested. So what I have you guys do, and what I do for you guys, most days, is I start to just mark them off and label them. This initially would be our trigger to look for puts. Follow through of the gap fill down. We can have our price target 1, and I'll label it very distinctly. So if we break below our trigger for puts, I want you guys to wait. I want you guys to get a 3-minute or a 5-minute candle closing below that level. And what you do subsequently after that is use the level above our previous trigger as your stop loss. So if we break below this 5, 10, 12 or so, 5, 10, 10, and we start to play puts, this will be our first price target. This is where I'm usually telling you guys to take a trim. This is where I'm like, you guys can scalp this here. I'm pretty sure we'll get a bounce here if we break below this at some point today. And this is when I would have you guys put your stop loss typically at your break even. I'll say that again. If we break below our triggers, and it doesn't matter if it's on equities or indices, the level above that now becomes our stop. We want a 3-minute or a 5-minute candle closing below or above that level. And that's how we know we've gotten our trigger. And in the previous level becomes a stop. Can you guys see this here? And where we have this box, going back to what we did previously in SPY. With this being our trigger for puts, we would get in if we had a 3-minute or a 5-minute candle closing below. And our first price target, or when we would take an initial trim, will be from 601.18, which was the pre-market low, excuse me. And if we were going to stop out, we would stop out here above our trigger for calls. This works really, really, really well. This is like 90% effective. It's not hard to learn. It's not hard to put into practice. Because we often trade 0 DTEs, it also makes it so that you're not in a trade before we get a break and that you're avoiding areas of consolidation or where we may just be ranging. Remember, a lot of times too, because we trade 0 DTEs and we are trading stock options, there's a theta, right? There's a time decay. And in theory, if we're not making money, we're losing money because every minute that passes, we get closer and closer and closer to our expiration. Let me see. Let's see. What's a company that had some good pre-market volume? And I'll take a look here.
Intel getting it right now.
Intel is going crazy right now. Okay, let's write down a few tickers. INTC. Okay. What I do as well, and I'll post a link for you guys here, I'll go look at Market Chameleon, and I'll just go look at the volume. I'm posting a link in the chat for you guys. Is my box based off FVG? I don't even know what FVG stands for, bro. Won't even hold you. My box is based off pre-market movement, highs and lows, and level of liquidity. And I'll just to reiterate, we can see that during extended hours, all of the key levels in any specific range are going to act as a bit of a map for us. And they're going to be touched. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be tested. They're going to be tagged. Pretty sure that SPY tags this here before we even open. And remember, this is all algorithmic. This is computer shit. There's nobody sitting in an office, placing, $50 million worth of, buys or sells. Everything is based off algos and computers and shit like that. So I say that to say at these key levels, the market, institutions, big money, smart money, whatever you want to call it, are going to begin either buying or selling, and it's going to give momentum to one side of the market. We'll get into it as we move further, but we can see here where I conflate it with volume moving averages, where I can see that above this orange line, the bearish or the selling pressure is higher at this point than what it is typically. And that's where I kind of can also see the momentum and the direction that the market is choosing. So Intel Core, we talked about what we said is getting crazy this morning. And we'll start on the 5-minute. And we'll do a Boxy Box here. So, did they report earnings or something? We're in AMD calls too out to January, so we should get a push there.
Intel fired their CEO.
Okay, that's good. And then we have 9:30 a.m. And on TradingView, you can just click these things too. And it also received an $8.5 billion grant from the U.S. Department of Commerce and a $3 billion contract from the Department of Defense to enhance semiconductor production and development. Okay. Good shit. He retires. You said fired. Okay.
He retired because they were ready to fire him.
They're
How much
about to
money they
fire him.
lost?
Yeah, he played that well. Well played.
Yeah.
So, Boxy Box. We have our close from the previous session. We have our open for today. We're going to take our extended hours high. We'll also take the low. This appears to be a level here for support. Tagged it there. Seems to be a key level here. And we'll just kind of start to color code things. We want at least 4 lines, 4 triggers, 4 points. Make the screen, start to look for calls again over this to retest the pre-market high. And we'll label this here as our bearish trigger. So bearish price target 1. Intel Core, it has a lot of momentum pre-market, but I can tell that it doesn't have a lot of volume. And I'll find something with a little bit more volume so we can practice and take a look at that together. And we'll continue to practice this. You guys will pick this up really, really quickly. It's one of those things too, where you'll be like, yo, this shit is so easy. A lot of times how not complicated this is gonna work against you because it's boring. It's boring, right? But beyond being boring, you'll be like, we just have a tendency to overcomplicate things. I've shown this to people, I've taught this to people, and they tell me they're doing really, really well with it. We come back, I'm like, hey, show me your chart. And a motherfucker have 40 indicators on this shit. Like, goddamn, got the highest trading view account level you could get, 40 indicators on this shit. We'll keep things really, really easy, really, really simple. And in addition to our key levels, we'll conflate things with volume. Volume, our levels, a little bit of market sentiment, and we're good to go. What I'm also going to go over with you guys in the not so distant future is we're going to work on your watch list. As you can see here, I do have some individual stocks, but a lot of times I would have it so your guys' watch lists are comprised of sector ETFs. Sector ETFs. That's how we're able to find a lot of gems as well. Because if I can see something like SOXL, which is a semiconductor bull ETF, is up and everything in semis is up. But a company like Nvidia is not really up quite as much as the other companies in the sector. I know that it's lagging behind. I know that we can probably take calls once we get a trigger somewhere and make a lot of money and make a lot of money fairly quickly. Well, let's see who has some good pre-market volume that's worth trading. Let's take a look at Nvidia here. It's okay. So where's our first line going? In our box, talk to me. Who's paying attention?
The close from the previous session.
Previous session. Who said that?
Your boy Bibby.
Yo, bro, send me your Cash App. Like them, my niggas pay attention. Then we'll zoom in on this box, make it a little easier for us. We'll take the pre-market high about here, and we can see that there's really, really strong resistance here, right? We tested it at 4 a.m., tested it around here again at 8:15, and then even here, we'll see if we break above it before the market opens, but this is a strong level of resistance, something to keep in mind. This fat finger here, some people call it a wick, I call them fat fingers. We can see there was a big sell-off. So we can see that there's a lot of selling pressure at that level. And all right, guys, where does our last line go to make our box complete? Pre-market or extended hours low.
Mm-hmm.
You guys feeling comfortable with this so far?
That makes sense.
It's
Yeah, it makes sense so
easy.
far.
Like it's so easy. It's like one of those things where you almost and when I came across this, right, and I started to learn this and kind of pick up these things, I was like, damn, like all those fucking classes I took, nobody talked about this. What was I paying for, right? What are we paying for? So yeah. So we have our pre-market low, pre-market high, after hours from the previous session, pre-market from today's session, and here goes our box. And I'll zoom in here. So let's look for two more key levels of support or resistance. Appears to be a level over here around this range, this 137.40 range. You can tell by the wicks, selling, buying, that there's a lot of liquidity here. And yeah, guys, let your candles talk to you. They tell a story. There's a book that's posted in the group, Candlestick Trading Bible. Great book. It's a little tedious, but you know, this will be our initial trigger. And if this is our trigger, what are we waiting for? What do we want to happen below this red line? What do we want to see take place in this
We want
137.45.
to see a candle close below. We want to see a candle close below that level right there.
Talk that shit. Who said that?
Ibrahim.
My man. Been working with Ibrahim for a while. Good dude, real solid. And then our trigger here. So if we get a 3 to 5 minute candle closing below this level, what becomes our level or our, how can I say this? Where would we close our trade if it went against us, right? We break below 137.45 and maybe we get to about here and it bounces. At what point do we close our call? I'm sorry, what point do we close our puts and start to look for calls?
Above 137, no?
Above
I
138.27?
mean 138, yeah.
Correct.
Because you would have to wait till it moves above the original bearish trigger to start looking for calls.
Absolutely. I also want you guys to kind of get into the habit too. I know you guys will see sometimes I'll be in the group and I'll be like, yo, guys, on standby. We taking a trade in 3 minutes and 32 seconds, right? Yo, remember, these candles tell a story. And every one of these candles represents price action that has occurred in a period of time. And in this instance, a 5-minute period of time. So even here, I wouldn't take any calls. I would wait for the next 3 minutes and 14 seconds for further confirmation. And we can watch this here. The best part, once again, about this strategy is that it makes sure that you're not in anything while it's ranging. I don't want theta kicking your ass. Don't let theta whip you out. Don't let theta blow your account. Don't let time decay fuck with you. Excuse my language. We want to be disciplined here. Has anybody ever gone fishing? If you've ever gone fishing, you know that you don't throw out your line and immediately get a bite. You throw out your line, you you set that shit down somewhere, and you drink and talk shit until something comes by and eats, until something bites. Trading is a lot of the same. There's going to be a lot of days where we just consolidate and just range. And at that point, we might not take any trades. We might just be chilling, right? You guys know that I game during that time. I see clients during that time. From also during that time, I'm going to start a lot less gaming and start to even make myself available for the group, whether that's us going live. If anyone wants to steal some time and do a one-on-one, I'm going to start making that more available to you guys as well. My schedule is kind of loosening up some. Yeah, because I'm going to probably take a week off at some point in January. But yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll work on it together. But look, we have about 1 minute and 48 seconds here. And let's see if this candle closes above this level or if we get another sell-off here. In the meantime, we can start to, so we have our bearish trigger, yep. And then we have here our bearish price target 1. We're doing this one-handed. Now I'll show you guys eventually, sooner than later, how I throw fibs on this for further confirmation. You could throw some moving averages on here, some EMAs. But honestly, if anybody asks me like, yo, what do you need in order to take a trade in the simplest form and be comfortable doing so? Volume, which we can see here is stair stepping, is building momentum above the volume MA. And we know in about 45 seconds here, if this would have been somewhere where we would have possibly, probably, most likely, jumped into some calls and let them kind of do what they do. Now, in terms of averaging down, you guys will see like we would close above this range when I'm averaging down. And if we got to pull back below this level, but maintained above our bearish trigger, that's typically where you guys will see me average down. That's typically where I know that they're trying to shake out retail investors, retail traders. And I know that, you know, after this, we're going to run. I see the volume was solid. I see we've maintained and held above this level. I would feel really comfortable taking an average down somewhere. Let's see, there's my tools. Yeah, somewhere here in this range. I would feel comfortable taking an average down on NVIDIA. Some of that too is going to depend on the week though, or the day of the week, especially on a Monday, because I know that my expiration would likely not be till Friday. I would feel comfortable taking an average down somewhere in this range if we broke below it, as long as we held above this level here. What else is moving pre-market? And I'll post these for you guys as well. Okay. Marathon. And I just come and look and let it tell me a story. So where's our first level going? Our first range, our first line, for lack of a better word?
On close.
The close from the previous session, correct. Because we're just taking extended hours. Next one, where are we going?
The open of today.
Days open. Get this out the way. What are we taking next?
Pre-market high.
Pre-market high. And you can see here where we wicked out. That means really, really strong selling pressure. What time was this? This was at 4 a.m. Okay. And then where's our last one going? To complete our pre-market low. How you guys feel about shit being color-coded, making it real easy on you?
Makes it easy to navigate.
One of the ways I'm also able to save myself a lot of time is once we set our levels, this looks like a strong area right here too, about right here. Use this as a trigger for calls over 20.
Question, does this work for swing trading too, or just like day trading?
I prefer it for day trading. I'll show you guys how I swing trade. A lot of my swing trading is much closer to fundamentals and like, you know, bullish flags and, you know, ascending triangles and all that, you know, all that nerdy shit. And I can teach you guys that. I don't mind, but that would have to be something where that would probably take me like 2-3 days. You guys got 2 or 3 days for me to learn how to swing trade, like really, really learn how to swing trade. Make sure we maintain or stay above a certain EMA, whether it's the 21 or the 100.
Hell yeah.
I can also give you guys an indicator. I got you. You guys like that better? I thought you guys didn't like swing trades.
It's good to work because sometimes I get busy at work. I ain't got time to look at the charts all
I was
day.
about to say the same shit. How my work schedule is, that work best.
So in terms of work schedule, I'll show you guys something else that I do. And this is how I make it. So like, you know, and I'll show you this and I'll provide a caveat. Like trading is a job, right? And you know, we all have jobs, whether it's trading or working for the people or any other type of entrepreneurial endeavor. And one thing about people when it comes to jobs, we're going to look for shortcuts, right? Doesn't matter what you do. You want to work, you want to work smarter and not harder. So as you guys can see here, we have a bullish trigger above the pre-market high. I will come in here and I will start to set alerts. You guys can see some of my previous alerts. I will go into trading view, and I will even go as far as to set the alert for whatever it is that my specific contract is that I'm looking at. I want contracts that have at least 1,000 open interest and volume. I want them to end in either a 0 or a 5 because once again, these are algorithms. And I'll show you guys an example here with Marathon. Let me see. And we'll break down and kind of look at an options chain together. And I'll show you guys some of the madness. Are you guys still able to see my screen?
Yeah.
Perfect. And you guys can see that I'm looking at a Marathon options chain.
Yes.
Perfect. So look, 30, 20, 15. I'll probably go out to 30. Numbers ending in 0 tend to have higher open interest and volume, or 5s. This is a little funny. 28 will be solid. But for us, honestly, I like the IV here as well. So for me, I would go back and I would say Marathon breaks over 27.92. Really, really simple, right? And a lot of times I'm copying and pasting at this point. $30 call. What's this week? 12, I think it's the end of this week, 7? 12.6, excuse me. 12.6. So what's going to happen here is if Marathon breaks above our initial trigger or our high of the day, I'll know to start looking for Marathon calls that expire on Friday. And I'll show you guys another example. Let's look for another trigger for puts. Looks like the strongest one will be the pre-market low. It's already broken here. So we'll go here, hit the plus sign, or you guys can go over there. Add another alert for Marathon under 26.33. Let's see the options chain. Thinking $25 puts will take us in the money. Yeah, $25 puts, really good open interest and volume. 26s actually look better, but they have a lower IV. So yeah, I'd probably go $25 puts that expire 12.6 in terms of contract selection. So Marathon crossing below 26.33. Really easy. I'm putting things in place. I'm setting notes. I'm setting triggers. I'm trying to make this as easy as possible for myself, and also fighting against my own market psychology impulse and, just a human desire to kind of complicate things or conflate things. We can go back and even look at where we were in NVIDIA. Watch list again here. We had our triggers. Looks like NVIDIA is testing what was our initial breakout or our bullish price target. We'll see if we break below that before our market opens. SPY, see what SPY is doing. Kind of ranging. Still haven't completely filled that gap back up, but we'll look for that. If we break below this line too, though, we're going to go to our first price target. So as an example here, this will be our trigger for puts. I'm sorry, I did the wrong thing. Let me undo that. Add alerts on SPY. And it can be what? SPY puts. I'll probably do SPY 602 puts, stay close to in the money. And if you prefer to be out the money, we can look at our price target, which was about 601, maybe 600 puts, depending on like the size of your portfolio or how you prefer to trade. I'll try to keep them in intervals of 2, 4, 6, 8s, and 0s. But we would look at SPY 602 puts or 600 puts. And in terms of looking for calls, take this high, add an alert there. And at that point, if we break over 603, we look for what? 604 calls. If you want to be on the safer side of it, go out 2 days on your expiration. So you were going to go 606 over that level, and you can still day trade it, but it'll make sure too that, you don't get your ass kicked by the Greeks. And we'll get more into that as we move forward. But let's see, what else is moving pre-market? So what we'll do here too, one of the tools I like to use because we do have our levels. Let's see. I'll copy from my boy Brent. He's always at it. Do you guys know how to use the bots? Are you guys not comfortable with AI yet or prompting information and making it easy on you? or easy on yourself. So let's see the dark pool levels for NVIDIA and where there's money sitting. So we have $35 billion sitting at 146.49. NVIDIA 146.49. That's over top. And the thing about dark pool levels though is that you don't know if it's for calls or for puts. 15 billion sitting at 137.54. Oh shit, right about our level. You see how that works? Now 137.54, there's going to be a big trigger, whether that's up or down. We don't know yet, but we have everything in place to be prepared to take advantage of that. But we can make a mental note or even write down that this is a big area of liquidity for NVIDIA, 137.54. There is $15 billion sitting there. 140.52. Can use that and make that our next price target. You can see upside or downside there. What else did we look at? We looked at Intel Core. How you guys feeling? Feeling a little bit more comfortable with things and kind of just seeing how this is all just computer shit? Okay, Intel Core. Right now we're sitting at $25. $1 billion sitting at 24.91. That'll put us about here. Not too far off what was our initial bearish trigger. We'll see if it's upside or downside. That triggers at 24.91. Remember, guys, these are ranges. These are zones. $711 million sitting at, what's that, 24.24. And that would trigger or let us know if we're going to probably hop into puts here at our bearish price target. So you guys can see how it's all related and kind of how I start to correlate different things. Another thing I really look at pre-market that makes trading really easy, especially for you guys that want to swing trade. Just hit the upgrades and the downgrades, and they are pumped into the group. I have a bot that puts that in the group. But let's see. ISRG, they produced the Da Vinci robot. I have stock in this. Price target is 650 from 522. Louis Vuitton, Moet Hennessy. It's a buy rating there. Stryker, which is another, medical tech company, 37 to 445. Tesla, damn. Roth, MKM, I would have to look into them more, but 380 is their price target. Remember too, guys, that all brokerages, all banks, all institutions are not created equal. There's a rating system, and there's levels to everything, right? And there's levels to this shit. Of course, if JPM said this same shit, Tesla would be up huge pre-market. Somebody like Goldman says buy rating, things tend to fly pre-market. Keep that in mind. Morgan Stanley is solid. They hold some weight. People fuck with them. Their word matters. Every market has a social element to it. Wells Fargo here. And these are the downgrades. KSS neutral. Don't really trade any of these other things.
With the Boxy Box method, how
Yes.
you would still wait that 10 to 15 minute range
Oh,
the market
absolutely.
opens.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. I still wouldn't take a trade before 9:45. I would kind of let things shake out, make sure that it's not no type of bearish or bullish trap, and I would take it from there. I still want you guys to be patient with your entries. Don't take anything at the open unless you have really, really fast fingers and you're able to move in and out of things. I would still advise against it. I still want us to practice discipline, especially at the open. Everything is held up over here. We've kind of just ranged for a little bit, still in the middle of that gap fill. Any other questions? Now look at this. We rejected that range that we had earlier. Let's see where this candle closes before market open. And this shit is boring. I won't hold you. I will sit here and watch this for 4 minutes and 30 something seconds. I guess it's what you guys pay me for. Right? So you don't have to do it. Right? But yes, this is what I'm doing. These are how my days are spent. This is how I trade, especially at the open, especially when I'm day trading. It's very rare that I'll just see something pop up in the middle of the session and just take a trade on it. I go through this process for countless number of companies. For us, there's some ones that I trade, though more than less, that I really like. That are some of my favorites. Zoom being one of them. We trade Zoom a lot. We trade what's that gold company? I forget the name, but yeah. A lot of the companies that we trade, you guys will see are recurring and things that I kind of just keep these levels and these ranges in mind on, and I just kind of understand or have a feel for the movement. But you guys, I don't get too crazy. Like we saw this shit pop up on upgrades or downgrades. Like, y'all know I ain't never gonna take a fucking trade on Striker. Like, and this would be a great swing trade if you're patient and you have the capital to sit in it. I imagine that the premiums are very high. And I would say go 30 to 60 days out if you guys want to swing trade around upgrades and downgrades. But we'll just watch and we'll see. Market's about to open. We'll see what the Qs do at the open.
Hey, yo, Court, I do got a quick question for you.
Yo, talk to me.
As far as putting down all these lines, like you have, I guess maybe a save in your settings. Like when you push a place, you want to put a line down, I can go ahead and has that line, or like either a vertical line or horizontal line done for you. How do you do that? That's a pain in the ass to keep on going back to those lines and putting them up in there each time and going for horizontal and vertical line.
Yeah, I do it with a MacBook, bro, but we can see here. Let me see. There's hotkeys. You see vertical line.
Got you.
My horizontal lines, I hit the option button on a Mac and I push H and it kind of just does it for me.
Okay.
So that's what I'm doing a lot of times, bro, is I'm just using hotkeys so that I don't have to like go through and like manually draw a long ass trend line like that or some bullshit like that.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions, guys? Anything I could help with while you guys have me here?
How
Yeah, I
do
have
you
one
turn on
question.
extended trading?
I'm sorry?
How do you turn on the extended?
You can right click all screen and go to your settings, and it's somewhere in here. Here we go. It's in your trading. No, that's the extended price line. It's somewhere over here. Think the symbol section.
Yeah, look
Oh, it's in this section where it says symbol. And you
Okay,
extended trading.
got it.
Black mode. My time zone is Eastern Standard Time. I do not like military time, especially when I'm trading. Fuck that math. I have mine set here for a 12-hour.
Got it. Appreciate it.
In terms of my keys here, I just have the high and the low. The timer, make sure you have a timer here as well, because that's gonna be a precursor for a lot of your trades. Like you guys know, and I know, probably previously it didn't make sense. I'll be like, yo, guys, we're taking a SPY trade in 2 minutes. And I know a lot of times people message me like, yo, how did you know to take that trade in the next 2 minutes? Honestly, just watching the time, waiting to see when my candle opens or closes below. Watching my wicks as well, but yeah, just watching the time. We're going fishing.
After like the bullish trigger, how do you mark the levels for take profit? Do you look back?
For my take profit zones, it's a little interesting too because we're near all-time highs.
Right.
We just have a percentage trigger where I'm like, yo, at 30%, I'm gonna take my initial cut. 20%, I'm gonna put my stop loss at break even. You guys know around 100%, I split my positions. If you guys ever play blackjack, it's like getting 2 10s, right? You get 2 10s, you split in blackjack because it gives you a higher probability of billing the dealer because you get to play 2 hands at the same time. And you guys also know if anything goes 100% and you sell half your position, you got your starting capital back. We take a trade, we take two contracts, it goes from 1.0 to 2.0. You sell one of them for 2.0, you really can't lose. You got in your working capital back, your starting capital back. One thing I really want us to focus on as we move into 2025 too, it's okay to lose battles. You just want to win the war. No more blown accounts. No more blown accounts. I'll say that again. No more blown accounts. It is okay to lose a battle, but win a war. Don't want to watch things bleed out. Especially initially to start the year as we start to build capital. I know a lot of you guys have had your first green year with me. Congratulations, year over year being profitable as a trader. And it's crazy. I always joke with people, and I can show you statistics that I think about 97% of day traders lose their money. If I make you $1 in 12 months, I put you in the top 3 percentile. And the bar is really low, right? For the work that I do and the prices that I charge. I know, terrible, terrible. But it is what it is, right? So, congratulations. If you've had a green year, you're one of the best traders in the world, for real, for real. Even if you made just $50, you're in the top 3 to 5 percentile.
Court, I have a question.
Talk to me.
All right, so I'm struggling with my entries. Sometimes I'm entering trades early.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And sometimes I get it or like pinpoint it exact. So my question is, what is the proper candle entry or setup that's necessary to enter trades?
You can do some of this here. I would look at whatever you're looking to enter. You can even go back and look at extended hours, even if it's something that you decided to take on the day. And those ranges change. I would also say the most important thing in trading is volume. Volume is force. Volume is pressure. And volume lends itself to supply and demand zones. And, where institutional investors are buying and selling. We want to get in when they get in and get out before they get out. That's the goal. So that's one of the things you can do. But also, too, if you're really not sure, are we talking about day trading entries?
Yes.
Okay. Put on a 9 or 21 EMA. And as long as your day trade holds above that or breaks above that, that's usually a pretty safe range where you can hold the trade. But just start to mark your levels. You don't want to take anything on a whim. When we talk about the fact that 97% of traders don't make any money, understand that for most people who enter the market, their role in this whole game is to provide liquidity. And if you've ever been to a casino, you know that the casino never loses. The banks never lose, right? What has to happen is people have to come into the markets and leave their money behind. And that's just the name of the game. It's the way things work. Once again, even if you've ever been at a casino and you've played blackjack and you've won a game at a casino, you didn't take any money from the casino. You took the money from the motherfuckers sitting around you at the table playing with you. Their job in that moment and in that instance was to provide liquidity or funds or money for you to walk out of there with. Keep that in mind when you're trading.
Makes sense.
I would also encourage you guys, if you haven't already, if you guys can see my screen, buy real-time data. Buy real-time data if you haven't already.
Hey, Corey, I got a question.
Talk to me.
Yeah, so what indicator are you using to track your volume?
I'm using volume MA, and I'll show you my settings here. Very simple. If you're somebody who has not yet made enough money to invest in TradingView, you guys can go right here to your volume and the settings and turn on your volume moving average.
Oh, okay.
Let's see what ES is doing. S&P mini futures. Okay. Some resistance here. Just taking a look at things, guys. Watching the VIX. VIX has a gap down and a gap up. Shit. Okay, we'll see what happens. If the VIX breaks above 15, I'll go bullish. I'm sorry, I'll go bearish. Excuse me. Remember that the VIX trades inverse to SPY and it tracks SPY puts. So a lot of times when we're trading, I have several monitors in front of me. But what I'm doing, especially when we're trading SPY, I'm watching the VIX side by side. And because the VIX looks like it's dropping here, I know SPY should be climbing, and we can retest that 605 range here shortly. And we have some time. We have some time, not taking any trades exactly at the open or for the next 15 minutes. But yeah, you guys can see everything here. It's a little convoluted with the side by side. I like having several monitors. It's just a little easier for me with everything that I'm doing. So let's talk. So for 51st trades, what do you guys thinking should be our starting capital? Like, it has to be more than $1,000. Take the money that we make from that 100 to 1,000 challenge and immediately roll that over into 51st trades. Or what we could do, you guys want to turn 1,000 into 10,000? It's really, really easy. It's much easier than turning 100 into 1,000. So I think when we started that challenge, like our first couple contracts was what, like $22. Could only purchase one, maybe two if we were lucky. And I think I was probably at one point that account had gone from $100 to like no bullshit. I want to say about $25 on me. I was down like 75%. And then we just got lucky somewhere along the way. And that shit went crazy after that. After that, it was up. But I was fully prepared to blow that shit. Like, and start over. Whatever. $100. Sorry to anybody, if that was your last 100. So I had to go into it that way though. I couldn't be scared, right? Yeah. So the VIX is climbing here gradually. I want to see if the VIX can make a move back above 15 today. And then if we can get SPY down to that 601, 600 range. You can see that first candle on the day here on the SPY was bearish. Yeah, guys, we're going fishing. And SPY rejected that level. So this is why I was also saying that we still want to wait that 15 to 20 minutes, baby, because we can see here where we got a buy signal on SPY. And then, the next candle right after the market settles kind of is going to probably put us back into this range where we're just sitting and kind of consolidating for a little bit earlier.
Right, Kai. I notice normally when the market opens, after a good like 10 to 15 minutes, it shows you the direction that it's gonna start. Like it normally, like how SPY started right now, SPY just tanked a little bit, but then it shows you the direction of where it's trying to head to, and that's what you just gotta watch.
Bingo, watch it. And if you take any trades, start to be a little bit more conscientious around 10:30 a.m.
Right.
There's something in the markets that they call the 10:30 reversal. And whatever it's doing at that point, it's probably going to start to do the opposite. So, that's something that I keep in mind and that I keep, I'm conscientious of. But once again, right, it's what you pay me for. So it is what it is. I'll do it for you guys. I don't mind, but just want to make you aware here now.
London market closes at 10:30.
Oh, that's what I figured too.
Close at 10:30. The fuck?
London markets, yeah. I don't know how many hours they are behind.
I was about to say what time they open.
We got my boy in London.
3 a.m.
I don't want to slaughter his
Oh,
name.
the market opens at 3 a.m.
The London market, yeah.
Wow.
That's what the Forex traders and things like that. And also too, that's why a lot of times, bro, I'm watching the futures market.
That's interesting.
If I'm up. Looks like we're getting a bit of a sell-on. And we can see here, once again, why we don't take any trades before a certain time. Tested at 603, subsequently started to drop, and now we're below our initial trigger. Discipline, guys, discipline. No, it's boring. All right, I'm gonna wrap up the call here shortly and start pumping you guys full of trades. Pause, excuse me, that sounded crazy. Start giving you guys some trades. I have a meeting for my daughter's school, unfortunately. You guys ever just wake up and be like, damn, like, I don't want to be nobody's parent today, you know, but you still do that shit. But, you know, sometimes I wake up like, damn, man, I do not want to be nobody's dad today. All right, cool, let me get to it, you know? It's a lot. They always, you have a
I
family.
appreciate the information. Very informative.
Something. Yeah, and we'll go over this again. This is something I'm gonna really, really hit hard, something that I'm gonna drill home. And you guys are gonna make mistakes, right? Your levels might be a little off, but keep in mind, these levels are not exact numbers. These are ranges, these are zones. But you can reinforce any bias or anything that you're seeing with your dark pool levels, if you would like. Or if you want to use an indicator, let me see an indicator that would give us some of the same things and make this really easy on us. Matter of fact, let's keep it simple, right? Pivot points. We'll do pivot points here.
Damn, spot going up. And QQQ is too.
We'll see. We'll watch it throughout. And you guys can see here, and I'm gonna edit this, and you guys can quickly take my my pivot point settings. I make the pivots time frame daily. Number of pivots back 1. I want everything on the right hand side. I prefer it to, you know, than the left. And here we go. You guys want to reinforce your bias. You can also use these as price targets and things like that in different ranges. And it usually plays out. The pivots are these orange lines here. And I will show you guys some of these things. Are you guys people who prefer indicators, or do you guys prefer doing it yourself and drawing on your charts? Talk to me. Put it in the chat. Let me ask the question here formally. Are you guys more indicators people? You guys want me to just give you a bunch of indicators? Or do you guys like to do things more manually? Mo says indicators.
Nah, you don't like indicators. You cussed me out for my 25 I had last time.
Oh, that shit was crazy. And it was so many different colors. I felt like I was in a fucking techno club. You had a strobe light on. Like, a bunch of shit coming at me when I looked at your screen. Man,
I only had like 10 though, man.
10. Bro, give me some volume and, you know, I can figure it out. But okay, how many indicators? Talk to me. I can give you guys 5. We can do 8. Like, I'm trying to keep in mind that a lot of people don't want to pay for trading view. I'm trying to remember what the max is on the low.
I think you should give us like the top.
Top. Okay, so I'll give you guys some top indicators. I won't get too crazy with MAs. Do you guys like indicators that tell you when to enter and exit a trade?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Top 5. Y'all want something that tells you when to enter and exit. We'll throw some pivot points on that to give you guys, you know, some to eliminate some of the noise. And pivot points are dope. Pivot points about 90% of the time. Let's see, I'll remove these drawings. Whatever we tag in terms of your pivots, 90% of the time it's going to go to the next level, right? So in theory, right, R1, resistance 1 is 604.14. If we break 604.14, where's SPY going 90% of the time?
605.73.
Bingo. And if SPY breaks below 601.76, where are we going?
600.
Bingo. So I can give you guys some indicators and show you guys some of those things. Do you guys like having these classes and these sessions in the morning pre-market, or would an evening be better? I'm not working on the weekends. Fuck y'all.
Pre-market.
Market. Okay. I'm up early. So you have to have my devotion, you know, and I pull up a little bit late or some rock star. I appreciate your patience.
For us, West Coast evening would be
Oh
nice.
man,
I was
You're
gonna
killing
say
us on the West Coast.
no, I am really killing y'all. Oh my
if you do a
goodness.
pre-market, you could do a pre-market and then aftermarket to show like the before and after and show how to range it like in a day. So it gives it that more realistic look.
So just take one day and we get on this bitch twice in a day and we look at it from all sides.
type shit. Because if you do like pre-market, you could show them how it is from the previous day up until like the current morning, and then from the current morning going, into after hours.
I like that idea too, bro, because I like being correct. And if we do the pre-market in the after hours, I can hit y'all with the "I told you so." Y'all know, y'all
Type
niggas
shit.
know I'm good for it. "I told you so" too. That's that
Type shit. Type shit.
I'm working on it, bro. I'm trying to grow here. So we can do that. I wouldn't mind that at all. I'm here to help. You guys let me know a day and a time. Y'all know I trade full time and just run my businesses and kind of just chill and shit, travel. So I'm on your time. I'm working around your schedule. So we can definitely reconvene. I'll say that our next class, our next session, we're gonna bang out some indicators. I'm gonna show y'all some shit that you busy, you can just look at and kind of start to pick your trades. I know you guys want things that have a buy and a sell signal. I'm thinking of what I can give you with a buy and a sell signal, as well as that comes with a price target, right? So and maybe I'll come up with my own indicator, charge like $10 a month for it or some bullshit, right? I think I can get 1,000 people to. I'm sorry, I'm about my bread. About to go on a tangent here. So okay, I'll have that worked out for you guys by the end of the week. We'll set a day and a time, and I just want to thank you all for being here. How many people we got here?
Hey, before we hop
We
off,
appreciate you, big dog.
Yo, somebody had another question?
I got a question for the people here. This is Chad. So I have my channel and I focus mostly on SPY, but I've been doing where this won't be every day, but it will be one day, probably Mondays and Fridays, where it will be an open Zoom where you can come in, trade live with me and ask questions, setting up your charts and things like that. Would you all be interested inside the group? This was something I did with a smaller private group, but is this
For
something
sure.
you would want where we can hop on, you can share your screen, you can ask questions? It's to kind of alleviate some of the stress of having to pay for a one-on-one when you probably just midday need to know how you're fucking up or if you're doing well. So
Right.
if you guys like that, please comment in my channel. Hey, yeah, I do want a live Zoom, and y'all kind of do a vote on like Monday or Friday, and I'll try to bring that like twice a month.
That's a great idea. I like that.
Yeah, sounds great. Sounds
I
great.
like that. Okay.
This is a good class, Court. I appreciate this.
Oh yeah, this was fun. I appreciate everybody being here. We had about 70 people go in and out. We'll do this more often, guys. I'd be chilling. Just more of a purist, a little bit of an artist when it comes to this too, where I try to keep things pure and organic. So I try not to go too crazy. And also too, like, I didn't start trading and doing all these things and putting this work in to do anything that felt like a job. I don't know how in those other groups, like them motherfuckers go live every morning, yo, and they'll just talk and talk and talk. Not about that. But I'm getting better though. I will we'll do this more often. It ain't never gonna be an everyday thing with me. I'm sorry now, but I'll make you guys a lot of money and make up for that fact. I promise. So I'll let you guys enjoy the rest of your day. I'm gonna buffer this recording. I'm gonna end it here, and I will